Oh. The snow leaf?
Yeah.
It's the snow leaf.
Yeah. It's like a leaf of snow.
Snowflake.
Whatever.
Alex, can you hear me?
Just a little bit, but that's okay.
Thank Hello everyone, it's... Hello! I keep stage fright, so I'm messing up.
I'm not even paying attention.
I know you're not. It's just I feel weird.
Go for it. Just go for it.
Just do it.
Really, just do it.
Going in the video.
Okay.
Hello everyone, welcome to Lucky Red Reviews, and today we will be talking about the book.
'Cause baby now we got bad blood. You know we used to be mad love. So take a look what you've done. 'Cause baby now we got bad blood.
Bad Blood by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the last book in Natural series. Oh my gosh. This book, basically what this book did, it literally gives you hope that maybe there could be more in this series. Because obviously the author can't end it in 30 pages wrong and then it crushes them at the end. I love this book. Loved it. It continues where All In left off, except this book was kind of different. There was like a fake case and then kind of went into the real case. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. At first I was thinking 4 5 stars, but then after that amazing ending I was like, okay, this is getting a 5 out of 5 stars. We find out in the last book, All In, that there's like this cult thing that's associated with everything that's been going on with all these murder cases and stuff. So we get this lead and it leads us all the way to Oklahoma, where we start finding out there's this other cult there. But this cult strangely kind of mixes in this bigger cult. It was patronage. Like, this book was like one of those books where you stay up till half the night reading and then you just still, after you finish it, cannot process life after it. That was this book. So we get to Oklahoma and we meet this one character, Ree, and we kind of just take her as just this normal lady who owns a diner, who lost her daughter and raised her grandchildren. That's who we see this woman until we get to them. Bam! Works for a cult. And I'll get more to that later, but let's back up even more now. We find out Michael has a half-sister. Okay. I feel like everyone in this book gets a half-sister. It's like, and you get a half-sister, and you get a half-sister, and you get a half-sister. Everybody gets a half-sister in this book. I couldn't even take notes on this book because I was like, what's happened next? What happens next? What happens next? What happens next? The only disappointment was that normally the perspective of you don't really know who it is. You don't know, oh my gosh, who is this person? You knew it was her mother. So while they're in Oklahoma, Casey starts remembering things and she starts realizing, wait, I was here before. This has all happened before. She starts to realize this was actually one of the places her and her mother lived at one point until they mysteriously just got up and left. And as Casey is visiting this town, more memories start coming back to her where she starts piecing together. We meet this character, Kane. Apparently was like dating her mother at one time, and he's not really giving up like why he chose to just stay in Oklahoma and stuff until we find out he has a twin brother. So as they're in Oklahoma, they start kind of snooping around. They're kind of being told by the local, don't snoop around, don't do it. But they do it anyways, and they start coming up across things. For example, this one murder case that happened to Nightshade's parents years ago. And it was discovered that it wasn't Nightshade who killed them, or it wasn't Kane's twin brother that killed them. It was actually the grandfather, who was a part of this huge cult that Casey's mother is in. So, we get to the ending. I'm just going to really just talk about the ending in this video because the ending is what really stuck out to me. Like, the whole details up were important and significant, but they weren't like, gasp, oh my god. I like the comic reliefs in it, like when they're playing Truth or Dare, that was the funny part. But so, we get to the end, and so they're about to leave Oklahoma, because they're like, we just gotta get out of here, you gotta get out of here now. And Casey talks to Reed real quick, and suddenly she starts feeling funny. Her body just feels like lead. She can't talk. And next thing you know, she can't stand. She looks around. Everybody around her is passed out. This woman, we find out Reed, is part of this cult and basically poisoned/drugged everyone. Now, that's when I was like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? First I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is how the arc's gonna end it. Everybody's gonna die. And it's gonna be like that one SpongeBob one when they're like, once there was a barnacle so ugly and he was so ugly, everybody died. The end. That's what I thought this author was gonna do. So Casey is taken away and she wakes up, she doesn't know where she is, and then they decide to test they put another poison on her. And this one's not one you have to ingest, it's one that just, it touches you and you're poisoned. She starts hearing footsteps run and she starts hearing people call her name. She wakes up and Director Sterling is there, the guy who was the head of the FBI. She's like, okay, I'm safe, and then it clicks. She's not safe. The director of the FBI has been in with this cult the whole time, which would make sense to why their leads just suddenly kept disappearing or getting killed. It makes sense, and how everybody who they've talked to was starting to become targets. And it's always the person, I feel like, in these stories, that's always the people who, like, you least expected, but then when you find out, it's like, oh, yeah. Which, I was kind of disappointed when we found out about him in a way, because we never really read much about him in the series. And then it's like, I'm like, oh, he's a bad guy. But then again, it works, so then you're not just like, oh, I knew it was that guy all along. So we find out he's working part of the cult. Now Kate's like, oh crap. Because then she starts realizing, wait, they only have this poison and they only have the antidote to it. So she's then put into this arena type thing and everybody takes these seats, all the masters and stuff. And her mother comes in. And it's kind of like you're going to fight to death. And whoever fights to death ends up becoming the new Pitha. Pitha? Ugh. So you see her mother and Kate thinks, oh my gosh, my mother is here. She goes to embrace her mother, and then her mother kind of has split personality. There's Cassandra, and then there's her mother Lorelai. And that's kind of where Kate's like, that's where she got my name from and everything. That's her Firefly. And I've learned this before in a psychology class, that sometimes with people who have hard bring up and who's gone through abuse and emotional trauma younger, tend to develop this type of split personality because one is in fight or flight mode all the time and the other one is just yourself. So Casey's mom's like, I would tell you I love you, but then I'd have to kill you. And then so Casey's mother, her split personality Cassandra, knows someone's gonna have to die here. So she's like, oh, it's not personal. It's either you or me. I mean, great parenting skills. You might as well just start breaking up with a daughter. It's not me, it's you. That's where the author was kind of going with this thing here. But then we start seeing her mother going back to herself. And that's when the tears start coming, because Casey's mother realized one thing. Cassie's like, okay, let's just wait because the FBI is going to come, we're going to be okay. If Cassie's mother believed for even 1 second the FBI was going to come, that she was going to kill Cassie, so then Cassie would not be put up to the torture she has been put up with. But knowing the FBI was going to come and trusting Cassie enough, the mother decides to have Cassie kill her. And of course Cassie can't do it, so she literally takes Cassie's hand and stabs herself with the knife Cassie was holding. And it was so sad. But then, you know, obviously then the FBI decides to show up. It's like, really? Now you decide to show up right after the killing had happened? You decided to show up. Come on, you had one job, and that was just to show up on time. But then we also find Laurel, Cassie's half-sister, is also Agent Sterling's half-sister. And I wasn't okay with the way the series ended. It kind of just ended. I was satisfied with the ending, and I wasn't satisfied with the ending, if that makes any sense at all. I mean, there wasn't like it was, oh my gosh, what else is gonna happen here? But it kind of just like ended. Like, she decides she's gonna go back home and help raise Laurel with her grandmother, but then, oh look, there's actually an FBI place in Denver, and everybody's gonna transfer there. And I feel like these series, as one of these series, the author could continue to just write case after case after case, and I would gladly buy it. I would. I just love these books. You don't get many mysteries. Like, there's some mysteries of books you read where they're like detectives or FBI agents, and it's boring. You figure out who did it way before the ending, and it's just not fun. Not once in these series I was actually right about who the killer was, and that was what made it amazing and so good. The series was just one of my favorite series, and I would continue to read it. And I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars, probably a 93%. Thank you for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up. Write in the comments below, what did you think about the book? What do you think the author did well? Did you guess who it was going to be? Do you think the author should be writing more books, or are you content with there only being 4 books? Thank you for watching. Bye!